Officer McKeithen, we thank you for your 24 years of dedicated service. You will be greatly missed, but never forgotten. Rest in peace, sir.
Happening now, an officer is down in Biloxi.
The animal that did this is still on the run.
This is the suspect right here, Darian Tawan Atkinson. They say he is the one who ambushed and brutally gunned down Officer Robert McKeithen late last night at Biloxi Police Headquarters.
This has got to stop, and I hope he's brought to justice soon.
Happening now, an officer is down in Biloxi. WLOX has learned that an officer is injured within the past hour. Major DBAC with the Biloxi Police Department says that an investigation is ongoing.
The news for South Mississippi. WLOX News Now starts with breaking news.
An officer shot in the middle of the night in Biloxi. The suspect is still at large this morning, and we have been there all night. Shot multiple times outside the public safety complex, happening just after 10 o'clock last night. This is video of the scene. We're told the suspect walked up to the officer who was in uniform and eventually fired his weapon. We do not know the motive at this time. The Biloxi Police Department is still searching for the suspect. Chief John Miller says this is a gut-wrenching time for his department.
It's just a tragedy. His family is extremely upset, which naturally they would be. The police department's upset. We want to see justice served here. I appreciate all the help from surrounding agencies. Harrison County and Gulfport have both jumped right on board with us to help us out. We appreciate that very much, and I feel confident that we're gonna arrest this guy.
If you are just joining us this morning, an officer down in Biloxi overnight.
And we have confirmed that the officer was shot multiple times late last night. That officer has died from his injuries. Bill Snyder joining us live this morning with the very latest.
Yeah, good morning, Rhonda. As you can see behind me, still some crime scene work going on here just outside the Biloxi Police Department. This incident happened a little bit after 10 o'clock last night, just outside the police department. Law enforcement officials say a Biloxi police officer was shot multiple times. The suspect fled on foot down Porter Avenue, headed north across the railroad tracks. From there, the search began for this suspect.
It's a very sad day for the city of Biloxi. 24-year veteran of our department, Robert McKeithen, and there's no easy way to say this, was murdered last night right here in our parking lot.
Anytime you have this kind of deliberate and violent attack on a police officer, especially right in front of a police station, it should cause everybody great concern.
We're asking for the public support in this. Anything that we have the photos on Facebook, we've given the photos to the media. We're asking for an identification of this suspect immediately, as quick as they can.
His name is Darian, D-A-R-I-A-N, Tawan, T-A-W-A-N, Atkinson, A-T-K-I-N-S-O-N.
We don't know his actions, so we don't know what he's going to do. That's why we're asking, and we've asked in the very beginning for the public to give him up.
This isn't over. He is not in custody. He is a genuine threat to this community.
Are you willing to call this an ambush?
Yeah, I am. It's a
I don't see any other word you could call it.
It's a sick and deliberate act, and it's concerning.
Multiple agencies have converged onto an apartment here. They've been here for 30 or more minutes with weapons focused on this one apartment.
Here today at an apartment complex on Pops Ferry Road, the SWAT team showed up. multiple agencies, multiple officers. Earlier today in the Sunkissed area off Pops Ferry Road in Biloxi, they showed up there as well as they kept getting these tips.
More news starts right now.
He is a genuine threat to this community.
A tragic and emotional 20 hours for the Biloxi Police Department. An officer gunned down while on duty. SWAT teams searching for the suspect. People pouring out their hearts and souls to remember the man senselessly killed. A press conference at the Biloxi Public Safety Building concluding just moments ago. You may have seen it right here. For what we're learning about this investigation into the death of Officer Robert McKeithen, let's go out live now to Allison Spann for the latest.
Hey Hugh, that's right. This press conference just wrapped up and law enforcement officers did reveal they had a suspect. This is the suspect right here, Darian Tawan Atkinson. They say he is the one who ambushed and brutally gunned down Officer Robert McKeithen late last night at Biloxi Police Headquarters. Now, right now they're telling us they have no motive, but they do want to find this individual. They have every single imaginable law enforcement agency on this case right now, scouring the city of Biloxi, scouring the surrounding areas, trying to find this individual, again, Darian Tawan Atkinson.
People from all over the Gulf Coast began showing their support this morning at the memorial near the spot where Officer McKeithen's life was taken late last night. Now, some of the people that were here today never knew him, but some knew him very well. Members of the military, retired brothers in arms, and proud residents of the city where he worked came out today to pay their last respects to a man whose life was spent in the service of others.
There is something happening right here. I believe they're about to take the suspect out of this police cruiser. This may be suspect 19-year-old Darian Atkinson. He is the one suspected of ambushing and gunning down Officer Robert McKeithen on Sunday night. There is the suspect right there. There is the suspect. He has a smile on his face. You're watching this right now. This is the suspect, 19-year-old Darian Atkinson. He's smiling, sticking his tongue out and smiling all the way up into police headquarters. Right now, it looks like police have caught the suspect.
The news for South Mississippi. WLOX News Now starts with breaking news.
A capital murder suspect is now in custody. 19-year-old Darian Atkinson charged with capital murder in the shooting death of Biloxi police officer Robert McKeithen.
It's been a long couple of days. We feel vindicated.
Tonight, an emotional outpouring of support for the fallen officer. For the very latest on this developing story and what we're learning right now, we return live to Allison Spann at the police station in Biloxi, where last night that officer was shot and killed.
Hugh, that's right. That suspect is in custody less than 24 hours after Officer Robert McKeithen was brutally gunned down in the parking lot of the Biloxi Police Headquarters.
New developments unfolding this morning surrounding the shooting death of Biloxi police officer Robert McKeithen. A second arrest overnight in connection with this case, and it's the suspect's brother. Darian Atkinson now behind bars at the Harrison County Jail. Gulfport police tell us he was arrested overnight and charged with accessory after the fact.
A connection to Atkinson's case made today with a story we reported last year about a threat made by a student at Biloxi High School. Chet Landry is in the studio now with the latest details.
I spoke with NAACP Biloxi Chapter President James Crowell, who told me that Darian Atkinson issued the threat against Biloxi High School and that the threat named his goddaughter as the first victim. He told me that the threat was initially passed off as a comment made jokingly. However, once police report was filed, Crowell said that Atkinson was only given a 3-day suspension due to the fact that he was so close to graduation. Crowell said that the school's punishment didn't fit the crime.
I feel that this young man kind of exemplified something psychological that probably should have been looked into at that time, but they didn't. They just kind of excused it and let him go. And look like this time he made his threat good. He went and killed this policeman.
Cue a somber ceremony tonight as members of the community, friends, and family remember the fallen officer, Officer Robert McKeithen.
Oh Lord, my God, When I have awesome wonder, consider all the world thy hands have made. I see the stars, and I hear a rolling thunder.
Tense moments inside the jail courtroom as the capital murder suspect in the murder of a Biloxi police officer goes before a judge. The suspect, Darian Atkinson, seen smiling just like during his arrest in Perp Walk 36 hours ago. Chet Landry was in the courtroom. Chet, what was the feeling like inside the courtroom this morning?
Yeah, that's right, Ron. It was very tense. There were a lot of police officers present. Chief Papania, Sheriff Peterson was there. It was a very tense moment. When Darian walked into the room, like you said, he had the same smile that we've seen in previous videos of him, like when he was perp walked into the cell into the jail after he was picked up.
Hey, good morning, Rhonda. As the sun comes up here in Biloxi, we're at Bradford O'Keefe Funeral Home, and Biloxi first responders, the police, the fire, they're taking shifts to stand watch over the body of fallen officer Robert McKeithen.
Now for a follow-up on the murder of Biloxi police officer Robert McKeithen. 2 more arrests overnight. 20-year-old Delentes Bryce and 21-year-old Joshua Kovac from left to right, now behind bars and charged with accessory after the fact. But first, there are now 5 men charged in connection to the murder of Biloxi police officer Robert McKeithen. And this morning, all 5 faced a judge. The newest arrest is the man you see here, 18-year-old Andre Sullivan.
As we are remembering Officer Robert McKeithen on this special WLOX, ABC, and WLOX.com opportunity for you to feel like you're part of the services. Let's go inside First Baptist Church right now.
We are here today to honor the life of Officer Robert McKeithen.
Saying a final goodbye before fallen Biloxi police officer Robert McKeithen was laid to rest. Today in the Biloxi National Cemetery, his life was celebrated by his family, fellow officers, and others who wanted to pay their respects.
Officer McKeithen, we thank you for your 24 years of dedicated service. You will be greatly missed, but never forgotten. Rest in peace, sir.
The loves that he knew, the friendships that he made, the people that he helped, the lives he changed, the lives he saved, and the good times that he had. Those things can't be murdered or destroyed or erased.
Lead detectives released new details in the shooting death of Biloxi police officer Robert McKeithen. The suspect accused of gunning him down seen smiling again, this time in court. Darian Atkinson's preliminary hearing wrapping up just a few minutes ago. Bill Snyder was in the courtroom this morning as police described the ambush attack and what led them to the suspect. Bill joined us now live.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Rhonda. You were talking about Darian Atkinson coming in. He had that sly grin on his face, but during most of the testimony, he was emotionless in that red jumpsuit and also in shackles.
A grand jury has indicted Darian Tawan Atkinson this week for capital murder in the May death of Biloxi police officer Robert McKeithen.